Zoom master. I'm the Zoom master of the meeting as well. And in case you have any reservations on your speech being recorded, please let us know. We will pause the recording. Also, I would like to request all the members, please keep your phones on a silent mode when you are speaking. Otherwise, we'll keep mute by the Zoom masters. Also, I would like to applaud. If you like to applaud, so you can just clap like this, or you can click on the reaction button to applause for if you wanted to applause for any speakers. Now it's my privilege and pleasure to welcome our presiding officer of the day, Mr. Prashant Bhusa. Over to you, Prashant.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sa Toastmaster Biku. So you were really good as a first time Sa. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And good morning, everybody. My name is Prashant Bhusa, your VP Education. So this is my first meeting as a presiding officer. And I am also your poll master for today's meeting. Welcome everyone on this rainy Sunday morning. And thank you everyone for investing 2 hours on this Sunday morning. I appreciate your dedication. And best of luck to all our first time role players for today. Now I will introduce you to the wonderful person who is going to take us through the proceedings of this meeting today. He is young, he is jubilant, he is always smiling, highly into tech. And if you ask me, he is an ideal avatar for a future techie. Elon Musk is his idol, and he has very high standards or high benchmarks for himself. Let us put our hands together for Toastmaster of the Day, Shreyansh Jain. Over to you, Shreyansh.
Shreyansh, we can't hear you if you are speaking.
Shreyansh, are you on mute?
Okay, so now am I audible right now?
Yes, you are
Yes,
audible.
yes, Shreyansh.
So I was just telling that thank you so much for a wonderful welcome, Toastmaster Prashant. And so beginning for today's meeting. So today's meeting is all about the corporate journey. As because I just recently started my internship, and I thought why not I should take on a topic like that. So transitioning into the corporate world is a significant milestone in one's professional journey. It involves moving from past experience or education to a new realm of business and countless opportunities. This transition is crucial as it paves the way for personal growth, enhancement, skill enhancement, and exciting career prospects. Same happened with me when my second year exam got over in May, I guess, and I was just sitting idle. Then my dad's friend called my dad that if I got nothing new to do, then why not? I should join the office. And yeah, I visited that office in December where I had a 2 week intern. And then he told me that whenever you get another chance in between your summer internship, then you should again come and just have an experience of a real world, just have a real world experience. And he had a software based company, so it matches my interest and all. So, and my institute also made it mandatory to do a minimum a month's internship. So I thought that this will be an awesome opportunity, so I grabbed it with both of my hands. So during my internship at EDBA, it's a software which creates software for schools and others. So it basically streamlines the admission process and everything. So it's been going on for almost a month now, and I got opportunity to learn and grow. As I reflected on my own experience, I realized that each member present in the meeting must have their own unique stories and insights to share from their own first experience, whether it be a first job, internship, or stepping into the corporate world. These stories hold valuable lessons, funny and memorable moments that we can learn from and relate to. And basically, these moments are the first time that, oh, I went in the corporate world. So these always stays with you to the end of your lifetime. So after a thoughtful conversation with Toastmaster Sarika, that that making this team or today's meeting that made it possible, that I thought, why not I should go with this team? Because everyone can connect and inspire, and we can support each other as we navigate to each of our individual journey. So I invite each of you to share your first experiences and let make this meeting a celebration of growth, learning, and memorable. So first we'll start with our first activity, which is share your first experience as you just when you went to the corporate world. So anyone from the member or a guest who would like to share something, the first time they went into corporate world, and how was the feeling and what were the learnings? Yes, Toastmaster Brijesh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shreyans. I hope I am audible and visible.
Yep, perfect.
Yeah. So, for me, the first experience with the corporate world dates 9 years back in the year 2014. So, unfortunately, I didn't pursue any internship along with my engineering degree. And we didn't have, 4G internet and all to go through YouTube and learn how top engineers prepare. But I had got a campus placement to one of the analytics company, and my first day at work started in Gurgaon. So it was like, moving out from Mumbai to a completely new city. Gurgaon, or as they call now, Gurugram, is the called as millennial city. So it felt very good. It was the first time you are in a corporate world. You get fascinated by those glass buildings, centralized ACs, and then you see everyone is dressed up very professionally. And we had an intro session, where they explained us what the company does, how many years it has been, how they help stakeholders or clients generate insights out of data, and meeting new set of people. So I went to Gurugram. So we had folks from other engineering colleges, we had folks from Delhi University, we had folks from economic school. So it was pretty overwhelming, for someone who was introvert like me, to see so many new people on a single day, and you are expected to kind of interact with everyone, try and build network. So it was a great and memorable experience for me. And the good part is, because we were around 8 people placed from the same campus. So we 8 of us kind of built a very strong bond in the very first few days, because we knew that we are coming from a common place, which is the same college.
Yeah.
So we had pretty same experience. So that is what I would like to share about my first corporate experience.
And I hope that it was the foundation of your corporate journey that was built very strong, and just because of this first opportunity.
Definitely.
Yes,
I spent almost 3.5 years
Whoa.
in my first organization, and I learned a lot. Honestly, I learned a lot. The basics of how the banking industry works, how credit cards work, how the US banking and financial industry is, and how you generate insights out of data. Like everything I learned there. Honestly, I was a EXTC engineer. I didn't know how to write a single SQL query. I learned that as well in my first job. It may sound pretty absurd now, now everyone in 12th standard or first year of engineering will go to YouTube and learn how to program, but I learned that in my first job.
Yeah, so I guess it was a great experience that taught you many things.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Brijesh. Now, Toastmaster Bipu, do you want to share something?
So I'm a graduate, right? So I graduated in 2006. So during in 2006, the MBA was started. So most of the people are started doing MBA. But even I was not aware about the MBA kind of qualification is people are taking a qualification to get the better job. So I just graduated in 2006 and I was not aware. So I started searching a job in midday classification. At that point of time, people used to search a job in midday. So I did the same, and I started searching a job related to computer. So before that, before my graduation, I was a part of Cyber Cafe. At that point of time, the Cyber Cafe was at a boom. I started by working from cyber cafe. I learned a little bit about the computer over there. So I was very confident working on a computer. So I thought I can do something in computer. So I started something computer operating or data entry kind of job. So after graduation, I started searching. So continuously 3 months, I gave an interview. So, but I was not able to get any job. But somehow, after three continuous of efforts, after 3 months, I got a one job in insurance company. So I thought now I get a success, So I got a job in insurance. I was feeling better at that point of time that I got a corporate job, but that job I survived around in just 6 months because that was kind of data operating kind of job. So I searched another job where I get a chance to work in a pharmaceutical company. Somehow, luckily, I got a job in pharmaceutical company. So I learned a lot of over there. I learned everything about the pharma. So after that, I got a better opportunity in another pharmaceutical company where I learn analytics, forecasting, and some Salesforce excellence where you can give your opinion to how you can improve sales, something kind of things. So I learn over there in pharmaceutical. So so keep searching, and you never know what you will get. So this is how I got my corporate job. Now I'm in a better positions without having a bigger degree. Yeah.
Yeah, so first from computers, then pharmaceuticals. Oh, that was
Yeah.
a great the out
Yeah.
of deep.
Yeah,
Nice
literally.
one, Toastmaster BK. Yes, so now Toastmaster Hari, do you want to share something?
Yeah, sure. So my story is pretty similar to what Brijesh explained, except that I studied from. I'm from Haryana, so I was aware of that culture. I studied there all my life, but then I got my first job in Mumbai in a bank called Nomura, which was ex Lehman Brothers office in Mumbai, very posh location and posh office, I would say. I realized a few things there. First thing I realized was it's not comfort zone, it's about the sense of familiarity that you have. So when I moved to this city, I had to get used to everything, how to have lunch in office, how to meet people with different backgrounds, people from different states, different colleges, even different nationalities at some point. And I got very mesmerized by the concept of cost centers in banks, like how you are aligned to business units. And it's not that everyone is doing a similar job, has a similar visibility on the floor, right? So it was a very, very enriching experience, I would say, and a very good mix of diversity that we had. A lot of experiences from people that we got to know. And like Vijesh brought an energy between how people are aware to 4G technologies nowadays. At that point, the vibes were in more in discussing economics and a lot of rock music. So things have changed. Nobody used to discuss AI and ML right from college at that time. So it's a long, long decade-old journey now.
Yeah, so it was a very inspiring story, Toastmaster Hari. And I just wondered that nowadays, just like Toastmaster Brijesh told, that internet is very common. So if I want to learn a new skill, I just go up to YouTube and search that skill. So how you used to learn those skills and how you all manage that?
So we used to download videos at our home in our mobile phones, and we would use earphones when we were
And
traveling
then
in the buses. And we would pay really too much for 3G packages for every month.
oh, and now it's basically almost it's free. So internet is the charges are so feasible for that each of us can afford. But back then it was a great
It
task
used
that
to be
we
a
learned
different
some.
world altogether.
Yeah,
People
of course.
buy more hard print books rather than Kindles at that time.
Yeah,
Now
Shreyans,
it's
I used to carry this thick book like Let us C++ or Black Book to my first job. Actually, literally carried
oh,
it in my bag and I used to read it while coding.
and, and nowadays it's just a 1 to 2 hour video on YouTube, just a recap video on C and C plus.
Yes.
So yes, so moving on, this meeting now I'll tell you the format of a Toastmaster meeting. So it is divided into three parts. The first one is the prepared speech, second one is the table topics, and third one is a general evaluation. And for a successful and informative meeting, we have a tag team which will work in the back end and called upon by the general evaluator will give us the stats about each speaker. So let me call upon grammarian Toastmaster Sarthak for the guidelines. Toastmaster Sarthak.
Yeah, hi Shreyas. Hello everyone.
Yes.
Happy
Hey,
Sunday.
so before the guidelines, I have a question for you. So
Yes,
have you experienced an embarrassing moment during video conference or virtual meeting?
me. This question was for me.
Sir, should I repeat?
Yeah, I got your question, Shreyas, but this question was for me or in general for
Yeah,
everyone?
yeah, it's for you. It's for you.
Many times, it happens every week uh, during the calls because I work with US clients, and suddenly the power goes off. I'm in my hometown now. The Wi-Fi goes off, and I have to rejoin the call, and you can't WhatsApp anyone because they live there, even my colleagues. So again, I'm getting a call. Sorry. So these
So,
things happens on a regular basis, but yeah, used to it. Trying to prepare myself as much as possible before the call. Yeah, so these things you
So-
can't avoid.
so I think it's manageable now because it's happened so many times. So
It is manageable now because I'm used to it. But still, these things you can't avoid.
yeah. So now you can continue with your grammarian guidelines.
Yeah.
Over to you, Toastmaster Sarthak.
Thanks, Shreyans. Hello, everyone. So, as a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I'll take note of any not so correct usage of the English language as well as all examples of good usage. As a grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day. For today's meeting, the word is surreal, which means strange, not seeming real, uh, like a dream or extraordinary. It can have both negative or positive meaning to it. For an example, the whole experience was so surreal. I know we have all used this word surreal, but I think we need to use this more often in our day-to-day conversation. Yeah, so each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day. Whenever any speaker on the stage uses the word of the day in the right context, I would request the audience to show a silent thumbs up sign as a mark of appreciation. I'll give a word of the day report and grammatical usage report when called upon by the general evaluator at the end of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sarthak.
Thanks.
And now moving on to let me call the timer Toastmaster Mitesh for timing guidelines.
Yeah, good morning,
And
everyone.
Just a second, Toastmaster.
Yeah.
Before that, you'll have to answer a question. What skill do you wish you had developed earlier before your corporate journey just started?
Okay, means which skill I've learned before starting my corporate experience.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't taken any corporate experience yet, but I'm looking forward to it. Okay, about the skills, I would say that yes, I worked on my communication skills a lot, because it's one of the basic and important skill for to start your professional journey. So I believe yes, I've worked on my communication skills. I've tried a lot of other things like working on my English language and other things. Attending public speaking classes, even in my courses in my college. So these are the few practices I've done to work on my this soft skills. So yeah, that's my experience.
So I
Yes.
hope that these all experience will
Yeah.
come handy just in
Yes,
near
yes.
time. Yes. So over to you, Toastmaster
Yeah.
Mitesh, for timing.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mitesh, and I'm the timer for today's meeting. Okay, so I will start with my guidelines. Just a minute. Okay. So as a timer, I will be helping the speakers to express their thoughts within the allotted time limits. My duty is to time prepare speeches, table topic speeches, speech valuations, and educational sessions if there are any. Just a minute. Huh. Just a minute. If, there's some glitch. Huh. As a timer, I'll be helping the speakers to express their thoughts within the allotted time limits. My duty is to time prepared speeches, table topic speeches, speech evaluations. To help me in performing my role, I have set 3 color cards. The green card indicates qualifying time, the yellow card indicates targeting time, and the red card indicates the okay. Sorry for the glitch. Just a minute. Yeah. So the green card indicates qualifying time for the speech. The yellow card indicates target time for the speech, and the red card indicates maximum time allotted to you. For an icebreaker speech, I will show the green card at 4 minutes, the yellow card at 5 minutes, and the red card at 6 minutes. For 5 to 7 minutes prepared speech, I will show the green card at 5 minutes, the yellow card at 6 minutes, and the red card at 7 minutes. For the prepared speeches, we have a grace period of 30 seconds on either side of the time limit. I will present the timing report when called upon by the Toastmasters of the day. After the prepared speeches there's a table topic speeches. For table topics, each speaker is encouraged to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. I will show green card at the end of 1 minute, the yellow card at the end of 1 minute 30 seconds, and the red card at the 2 minutes. For table topic speeches, we have a grace period of 30 seconds only on the upper side of the time limit. For speech evaluations, each evaluator has 2 to 3 minutes. I will show green card at the end of 2 minutes, the yellow card at the 2 minute 30 seconds, and the red card at 3 minutes. I will present the timing report when called upon by the general evaluator. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mitesh. And now let me call upon our counter for today's meeting, which is Toastmaster Harit, for the guideline. And before that, I have a question for you too. So how do you spend your break time with colleagues?
I try to convince them to come out with me because I am more of an impromptu person who likes to plan things. This is in my nature. Whenever I visit, even when I visit foreign countries, I've never booked hotels for more than a day. I take a call there whether I like it or not, and then I choose things. So I'm very impromptu in that. But if I find colleagues like that, then we do make an outside plan.
Yeah, so I guess from now on you should just inform them 1 hour prior to that. Yes, we are going.
Sure.
Yes. So now you can continue with the guidelines.
Sure. Thank you, Toastmaster Shreyans, and good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I hope everyone is having a good time so far. I'm your counter for today. My role is to record unnecessary sounds and words that may be used by the speakers or the role bearers. These include crutch words like or filler words like but, like, so, okay, and filler phrases like and so, etc. These elements obstruct the quality of your speech and also can make the listener get annoyed. This can degrade the quality of your speech. So this becomes even more important to record them and give you a feedback so as to you can minimize them in the future. I'll present my counter report when called in by the general evaluator at the end of the session. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Harit. Now let's move on to the first part of our meeting, which is prepared speeches. So let's get started with this first speech, and I may call upon the evaluator Toastmaster Tariq to read objective of Toastmaster Arun's speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Tariq.
Thanks. I have not got the speech objective from Arun. Arun, can you please pass it?
So it's a icebreaker speech, right?
You are on mute.
No, it's not an icebreaker.
It's
Okay,
not
it's
an
not an
icebreaker.
Okay.
Arun, can you just WhatsApp it to Tariq?
Yeah. I'm sending chat here itself.
Okay, because on agenda it was L1P1, so I thought it may be as icebreakers.
It's a L1P1.
No, Tariq, it's not actually. Uh, that was a miss from my side. I thought this is an icebreaker speech, but it's not.
Okay, what's the
I think
level?
it is his.
It's
It is it
L1
maybe
P.
L1P2, I think. Right, Arun?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's L1P2 actually.
Okay, just give me 1 minute. Okay. So, hi, good morning, everybody. Toastmaster Arun is attempting L1P2 speech. The purpose of this project is member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to a second speech. The purpose of this speech is for the member to demonstrate that he or she has applied the feedback received from his previous speech. Uh, Timing guidelines is 5 to 7 minutes. Timer, please make a note of it. I wish all the best to Toastmaster. Over to you, Timon.
Yes. So, uh, Toastmaster Arun all prepared up for the speech.
Yeah, I hope so.
Okay then. So Toastmaster Arun, the lockdown, Toastmaster Arun. The stage is all yours. Over to you, Toastmaster Arun.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Am I audible? Am I visible? Okay.
Yes, Arun.
Did we start the timer? Great. So, hi, everyone. I'm Toastmaster Arun Gangula, and the topic for my today's speech is The Lockdown. Sounds like a horror movie title, right? Like The Shining or The Exorcist. Well, I'm sure most of you will agree with me when I say that this lockdown phase was no less than a horror movie, right? I have a little disclaimer before I start the topic. So, this is not going to be one of those scientific or analytical speeches where I am explaining the structure of a coronavirus or I'm throwing stats at you. It's most of a personal experience and what was going through my head during this entire period. I'm not sure how I'll be covering this term of what, 2 years in this 5 to 7 minute speech. Also, if anyone is not comfortable with the topic and if this brings back some bad memories or experiences, I'm extremely sorry. Please feel free to mute me during this entire speech. Okay, so I think it all started with some local news or some social media post where we were talking about a virus named Corona that was spreading a disease called COVID. And it was happening outside India. Like any other optimistic Indian, I was pretty sure that it's not reaching us. Because I do remember similar news in the past regarding bird flu and swine flu. And it never got serious. People used to wear masks in local trains, and I made fun of them. Today, when everyone got rid of their masks, you will never find me without a mask in a local train. I'm that terrified. So yeah, karma has its own way of getting back, I guess. This news of virus spreading went on for days. The death toll kept increasing all over the world. Then somewhere in some corner of the India, we had our first case and eventually a first death. Still, it wasn't considered a critical situation. I used to go to office every day. Back then, I used to stay in Andheri, closer to my office, in a rented apartment with some flatmates. I vividly remember it was a Friday, and because of government regulations, our office had declared work from home starting Monday and for a couple of weeks. My office always had this very strict policy against work from home. So the announcement in itself called for a celebration. We went out for drinks. We were so happy that at least for a couple of weeks we need not travel to the office. We can have our best time at our homes. But little did we know that these couple of weeks will turn into couple of months and years and to eternity. That very weekend, I left for Virar to my family. For folks who don't know, The travel time from Virar to Andheri, that is my office, is almost 2 hours one way. So I chose to stay closer to the office in Andheri. I left for Virar with just one bag, with my laptop bag. The situation in Virar was way calmer than that in Andheri. When I say calmer, I mean the people here were least bothered. Everyone was in denial. On the other hand, the news got horrid by the day. The numbers multiplying, the death rates increasing, and India catching up with the world, and not in a good way. I myself wasn't very terrified of the situation, to be honest. It's not because I thought it's a hoax or something, but somewhere deep down, I felt that this situation will not reach our house. How come something that has originated in some corner of the world will spread that much that it would reach your city, your society, your building, and your house? Seemed a little far-fetched to me until there was a first case in a neighboring building in the same society. And by day three, the cases were more than 10, and our society had to quarantine the entire building. The following day, the government declared complete lockdown, and you were only allowed to get out of your house to buy essentials, and that too during specific hours during the day. And if you want to travel interstate, then you need to have a compulsory COVID negative certificate. This is where it hit me. Now I was completely convinced that this is it. In this dreadful situation, the first thing I had to do was vacate my Andheri flat and get all my belongings back to Virar because I was still paying the rent. But it's not as easy as it sounds, okay? First, I had to find a cab that takes me back and forth from Andheri. Then I might have to convince a policeman, if I'm lucky, only one policeman, that I am COVID negative and that this is an essential trip. I somehow managed to pass all these barriers and bring all my stuff back to Virar. Now the situation is I am in Virar with all my stuff, literally no place else to go, and there's a complete lockdown in the entire nation with no clue when it's going to open. So, as I mentioned before the start of the speech, it's almost impossible to complete this entire journey of about 2 years in this 5 to 7 minute speech. So, I'll bid goodbye and wait for my next speech, which is going to be a sequel of this one. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Yeah, now I'm definitely waiting for the next speech. Yeah, so it was a wonderful speech, Toastmaster Arun. And I guess we only have a speech for today's meeting. So let's move on. Let's move on further in the meeting. So now I have joined the company and I don't know some corporate terms. Like I was working on a feature. So one of my tester told me that what does this feature do? Basically, he told me to give me a KT on that feature. And the only KT I knew was that the KT we got in exams. So now I was blank. So what is KT? So I just searched Google and then I got to know, okay, so it's knowledge transfer. So then I told him what does that feature do and everything. And I was just searching and my screen was shared. And then he saw what was I searching. So I literally searched reading what is the meaning of the KT. So that's why if someone was there who gave me some advice about what the KT means, and so our next activity is based on that. So it is called LOL, laugh out loud, hilarious workspace advice. So here where I will be giving you some funny situation and you have to share your humorous advice or tips for handling those particular situation. So who is ready for the first question?
I'm ready.
Okay, so Toshmaster Tariq. So your question is, how would you advise someone to handle a boss who insists on having meetings in hot tub instead of conference room?
Oh, that's a great topic, Toastmaster Shreya.
Yes, over to you, Toshmaster Tari.
After a decade of experience, this is the first time, I'm having this kind of a question. So I'm sure I'm going to consider this when I have meeting with my subordinates. So one of the things that I would tell my boss is, for a change, we should have meeting in the hot tub bath, because it will ensure that people are attending and they are attentive as well. So there is no chance of dozing off. Second is about breaking the monotonous, because my manager always say that, how would you break the monotonous thing that you do, throughout the year? So this would be a great opportunity to hang out in a bathtub, and then making sure that the water is hot enough for making the decision, so that people would start coming out of the hot bathtub, and then conclusion of the topic is being made before they go out. So you can, create a deadline that nobody is moving out of this hot bathtub till the time they conclude on a topic, so that we avoid the next meeting. Thank you. Over to you.
Oh my God, I was just holding my laugh. Yes, so I guess there was an ad, where they conducted a meeting. I guess it was a ceramic company ad who made a bathtub and all. So I don't know the name of the company, but yeah. So
Jaguar.
yeah, Jaguar. Yes, perfect, Jaguar. Yes. So who is the next volunteer? Yes, to Shashta Brijesh. So your question is, what hilarious tips would you give to someone who accidentally spilled coffee on their pants right before an important client meeting? Over to you, Toastmaster Brijesh.
Sorry, I didn't get the starting part. What?
Okay, so you just have to give a tip, a funny tip to someone who accidentally spilled coffee on their pants right before an important client meeting.
Okay. Because you want to make it funny, I would just tell him, go and get a bottle of water and just spill it over the entire pants, and then come to the meeting, so that your entire pant is wet. And I'm just assuming that it would be the rainy season, the rains we are seeing these days in Mumbai. The climate should be something similar to that, so he can at least tell the client that, what, Mumbai rains are so terrible that you get a wind cheater, a raincoat or umbrella. I am wet, but I think this will help me, because this is a client meeting. I would be nervous, I would be sweating, but now that I'm already wet, you wouldn't realize that I'm sweating.
Yeah, so it will be an whole surreal experience. and
Yes.
and you covered up nicely with trains. Yes, so now the last question, and who is up for?
I'll take it, Shreya.
Okay, so Toastmaster Sarthak. So your question is, what hilarious tip would you give to someone who accidentally sent a text message meant for their friend to the company's CEO?
I'm sure this happened with many of us. At least, what you can do is archive those contacts, in your WhatsApp list, whom you don't want to accidentally send any wrong messages. Or it can be right also, but so just archive those contacts on your WhatsApp, and cross-check, double-check whatever funny messages or whatever messages you're sending. It can be general, that's fine. But if it is something, out of, so at that point, I think double checking is always, is a must. And if accidentally you send that message, just delete it as soon as possible. WhatsApp has come with a new feature. I think it's been some time. I think it's really helpful. It saved a lot of us, not only with our CEOs, but either relationships and many things. So I think, yeah, so this is the tip which I wanted to give to my friend.
And what happens if I accidentally click delete for me rather than delete for everyone?
Delete for me rather than delete for everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, so in that case, I think there is no choice. Just accept that you have done the mistake and send sorry. There is no hiding. If
For
people
me,
have already seen it, just accept it and move on.
And
Don't
move on.
let those things affect you. Believe in yourself, because the day you stop believing in yourself, I think that's the end.
Yes, okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Sarthak.
Thanks.
Yes.
Thanks.
you may try convincing the WhatsApp admin. He has this right to delete message for everyone, irrespective who sends it. So you can try convincing him.
And
But,
now we also got an edit option, right? Yeah, so we can also
Yeah.
edit it.
Something,
but
some
the time that we take to call the WhatsApp admin and he deletes it, I think many of would have already had messages. Yeah, but that's an option.
Yes,
Something
so,
better than nothing.
Yes, so anyone from the crowd just had a funny, memorable experience that went in a funny way. You
yeah.
want to share something?
So something similar kind of things happened in my office group. Someone used some lemon word and a local word just to to gather, to encourage the teamwork kind of. So he used something local word. So he sent and he forget what he actually type in the message box in the WhatsApp chat box. After a point of time, someone has realized he used something else which he should not use that word. So he immediately tagged those messages that you should have to write some other window. So it's again got highlighted. So he immediately went and tried to delete that message, but somehow he deleted for me. Instead of deleting for everyone, he deleted for me. Then manager took a class of him, but somehow he managed to convince him that I did for a good stuff, not for to demean anyone. So that was a really amazing incidents happened in my office WhatsApp group.
Now you will be checking message twice or thrice before sending them.
Yeah, definitely.
I do that, Shreyas.
Yes.
I think most of us do that.
Yeah,
So
most of us, yes.
I actually have this embarrassing moment happening with me. So one of my friends in this current company, so we both used to work in the same company previously also. So that company's CEO is very high funded. He has his own pilot, he has his own jet and all. So one day, this girl sends me a story of that CEO that he is having a fun time with his private jet on some island. And then I message her, इसके पास तो बहुत पैसा है, पैसा रहेगा तो कौन ऐश नहीं करेगा. And that message was sent to a DM to that CEO. Then I so when I realized it was already 5 to 10 minutes, and then I deleted the message also. This was on Instagram, but I'm not sure if that guy read or not. Then there was no following up after that.
Oh my god. I'm still laughing. Yeah, so I guess we all had some this type of funny experience, and I guess these only and it are most we used to yeah, remember, just like now, just like you told that we all used to remember these type, and this make it so happy and funny. Yes. Now, so moving on to the next part of the meeting, which is the table topic master, and Toastmaster Ajay will be conducting this session. So over to you, Toastmaster Ajay.
Thank you so much, Rehan. You're not going to ask any questions to me.
Okay, so you want a question, so let me just search it and then I'll definitely ask you a question. Can ask.
Since you asked lots of questions to me once, so I thought
Yeah,
not
so
one to me.
yeah, because the table topic master will ask so many questions, so I should ask him one. So was there a mistake that was done by you and you covered it up so fast that nobody else realized that there was a mistake?
Yes, of course, in the corporate world, I did lots of mistakes and I covered up. And Unfortunately, it happened to one of our head of department because I'm being in the IT. Before taking all his data backup, unfortunately, I forget the laptop and somehow the head of the department he has kept his data on the local hard drive at his home. So I try to cover up, but then it comes up. It's my mistake, and I accepted it. And then he suddenly told me, "Don't worry, I have the backup, and it's there in my home." So very next day, he bring his hard drive and we recover those all the data deleted. So this is the one incident I try to cover up, but it's open.
Okay, so I guess it's common in corporate to get stuck somewhere and
Yeah,
some
yeah.
make stuff mistakes. I just hope our
Initially,
our leaders are just as understanding and they just encourages you that this won't.
yeah, it
this-
was. Yeah, it was in the year 2006 to 2007 when I joined my corporate company. I mean, I was also trainee engineer. I was learning, so it was a mistake, and I agreed and accepted it. And he realized that. It's a good guy.
So now you can conduct the table topic session and over to you, Toastmaster Ajay.
Thank you so much, Yans. So good afternoon, good morning to Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster, and my dear guest. We have seen some of the fantastic speeches, prepared speeches. In our real life, you will not get opportunity to prepare and give such a speech. Just consider if you are in a meeting or any get together party in office or in any workshop with a huge crowd and your boss or your head of department has really asked you to give your opinion or something about the party or anything about the subject. You will feel uncomfortable and it's natural. In a other scenario, you might be asked to say a few words in a family get together or family gathering. How do you feel in that situation? Uncomfortable, right? And that's natural. The ability to speak confidently and clearly without any preparations, it's required a huge practice. In table topic session, it allows you to practice spontaneous speaking in a safe and friendly environment. It is also give you opportunity to have not spoken here during the meeting. Now let me call the timer to give the timing guidelines for this particular session.
Okay, hello everyone. So for table topic session, every speaker will get maximum 2 minutes to speak. I will show green card at the end of 1 minute, yellow card at the end of 1 minute 30 seconds, and the green card at the end of 2 minutes. The speaker will get a grace period of 30 seconds in the upper limit, and that's all. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nitesh.
Yes.
So who will volunteer, who will come first to try out, and I'm assured that I give a very easy topic. Considering the corporate journey or corporate journey, it would similar to the same topic. I assured Prashant to give this type of questions to this particular session. Yeah. So I think Firoja Sekar. I'm really sorry
Yes.
if I.
Yeah,
Hello,
it's
everyone.
Arbaz, I think.
Sorry, excuse
Yeah.
me for my name. It's my mom's name.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Arbaz.
I tried changing it, but it's not getting changed.
Oh,
Maybe
sorry,
some
sorry.
technical problem is there with the Zoom application. Excuse me for that.
Okay, no issue. So for you, the topic is very simple and very easy.
Oh,
What
so nice.
what is your choice in corporate journey? What is your choice in corporate journey? Learning or gaining? Or I can say
That's
in
good.
corporate journey, what is your choice? You select learning or gaining? Question mark.
Actually, both assumes equal weightage. First of all, whether it's a corporate journey or whether it's you are not looking for a corporate job, you are intending to get yourself into a government job, or you are trying to develop yourself as a self-proclaimed entrepreneur, as a you run your business, you become an entrepreneur, you open your startup, you try out something else, you become innovative, you become creative. Whether it is whatever it is, learning is a part of the process. You cannot gain anything without learning, isn't it?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So learning plays a very pivotal role, and it's of paramount importance. That's why education is important. And we have been educating ourselves right from our childhood. We have completed our undergraduate course. We have done our graduation. Post that, many of us might opt for PG courses as well. So learning is a part of the process, and gaining comes from learning. A part of it comes from learning, and part of it comes from your experience. Just simply learning won't do you any good. You have to gain experience along with learning. So that shapes your personality, that shapes your character, and that's go a long way in giving you the kind of experience and success that you are aiming for yourself. I cannot see any time. Am I qualified for this?
Yeah, I'm about to say that actually. Mitesh, can you
Yes.
share your screen and show the
Yeah. Okay.
cards?
So do I have to speak more, or is it enough?
Actually, I do not have permission. Now you qualified the time. It's about 1
Qualified
minute.
means fine, man.
Yeah. Actually, I don't have the permission to share the screen. So
Nice permission you have given,
but
man.
I've recorded the time, so that's not an issue.
Oh, fine. Works for me.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Arbaz. Timer, I would suggest you can share your screen and show your timer clock now. And whenever the speaker start, you can start, and then the speaker and pause, and you can stop it.
Yeah.
So this way, if you follow now, so you can start sharing the screen in the background.
Yeah. Able to see this. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Arbaz. It's really a surreal comments on your topic, which I give it to you. Very nice. And who is the second one? Who is the second one? I think someone raised their hand. Yeah, Amit. Hi, Amit.
Yeah, hi,
Amit.
good morning, Ajay.
Hi, Amit. So we are ready to go?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, Timer. I would like this. I mean, this is really nice. So the second topic for you, it is on the same table topic subject. What is the 5 steps you need to grow in corporate world? What is the 5 steps you need to grow in corporate world? Over to you.
Yeah, good morning, Toastmaster Ajay. Hope I am audible and visible.
Yeah, you are.
So 5 steps to grow in corporate world. First, I would say, first step is to have good bonding with your team and with everyone. That make you like acceptable to all. And second step, it should be very polite in corporate world, because you have to be like controlling your language and the way, because it's like everyone will observe you about your way of working. And third step, to grow in corporate world, you have to be like very work in a very planned way. Like you should maintain your diary, you should have your to-do list, and you should be like punctual on timings. And fourth step, I would say, to have your scheduled calendar about the meetings. You should not attend any of the meeting haphazardly. For every meeting, whether you called or someone else called in the meeting, it should be well scheduled. So you have to maintain your calendar. Fifth step, everyone in the company or in your team should know your way of communication, because some people are comfortable on Teams, some are on WhatsApp. So it's very important that people should know about your way of the way which is comfortable to you, way of your communication. These are the 5 steps to grow in corporate world, I think. Thank you.
Thank you
Over
so
to
much,
you,
Amit.
Ajay.
Thank you so much. Good. So who is the third one? Okay, our general evaluator, Toastmaster Brijesh. So topic to you, Brijesh. Very easy to you also. Who is great leader in corporate world in India and why? Who is great leader in corporate world in India and why? Over to you. And you follow, I mean, your role model.
Yeah, I hope I'm audible and visible.
You are audible and visible.
Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Ajay. So, a very good afternoon, everyone. The table topic provided to me is who is a great corporate leader or who is an ideal corporate leader who acts as a role model for me. Uh, Actually, there are many corporate leaders, but one of the person whom I feel is a kind of role model for me, not more for his work ethic, but just for the way he's handled business. Like the person's name everyone would be aware of, he's Ratan Tata. I would like to call him Sir Ratan Tata. I know every one of us would have at least one product or service which we would be using in our homes or in our daily lives, which belongs to which is produced or provided by one of that companies, one of their family companies. It could be something as simple as the salt you are eating every day coming from that brand, or it could be something like your internet service or your television service, or you could just be flying off to a different city using their airlines, Air India as well as Vistara. Now, let me just give couple of reasons why he's a dream leader or a role model for me. For me, like you can be a good corporate leader. You can have all the principles, ideologies, everything. But end of the day, if you are humble, you relate to people's problem and you invest money in solving that. That is what will ensure that you are taking along the entire cohort or entire nation. uh, I have generally seen when they invest in business, it's not just for profit, it's not just for themselves. They generally invest in businesses which help our country grow, which they feel that helps the entire nation, the people, the public grow. Like you talk about India's oldest IT company, it is Tata Consultancy Service. We know how much it has grown up. Now they are making a push for semiconductors and Apple iPhone production as well. So that is why he is my role model. Over to you, table topic master, Toastmaster Ajay.
Absolutely, you are absolutely correct, Toastmaster Brajesh. In fact, I also follow the same leader, Ratan Tata. Amazing leader. I mean, you can see the Tata Memorial Hospital for the medical, for the cancer. You can see lots of people everywhere across all the places. People come here for the cancer treatment. Amazing. He's really serving the nation. Thank you so much, Rajesh. And next, I would call Preeti. Preeti, I got the message from the chat box. You are not in the corporate world, but you want some different topic to be go ahead, right? So I give you some different topic. Very easy topic. Emojis on WhatsApp. Emojis on WhatsApp. It makes you laugh or angry. Over to you, Preeti.
Emojis on WhatsApp.
It makes you laugh or angry sometimes. Over to you, Preeti.
I'm not got angry when I got any when I receive any emojis. Yes, sometimes it's irritating. And the thing is where it is coming from. Who is sending the emojis? That is the main concern for me. Because I'm not very used to with this emojis and all.
You want to try other topic, Preeti, if you are comfortable, I give you other topic. You want to try that topic?
Yeah, you may ask.
Okay. So, timer, don't consider um, uh, this session. I mean, this topic for Priti. I'll give you other topic to Priti, then you can note down the time card. Okay, I'll give you other topic. Do you believe in luck? Priti, do you believe in luck?
Yes.
What do you?
For me, there are 3 types of lucky people. One are those whose wish got fulfilled before raising it. They are the luckiest one. And the second luckiest person who have wish, but it gets fulfilled like after 10 days or 5 days. They are also lucky. And the third person whom I consider it's not unlucky, but yes, if they wish something, but they are not getting fulfilled when they need. It's like you are having peanut when you got your teeth, but when you got the peanut, you are not having your teeth. It's like that. So there are this kind of people I say lucky. I categorize those people as lucky. And I got myself in this between these two, luckiest and lucky. Like my before raising my wish got fulfilled, and sometimes it takes the second. I have some wish in me, and it gets fulfilled in some days. But I don't stuck with those desires. I just let it go. If I will get, I will get. Otherwise, it's okay. So I treat myself like that. Thank you.
Wow, absolutely. You really make a good comparison. Thank you so much, Priti, and really good try. So, next one to go, our counter, Toastmaster Harit. Yeah, Harit, you ready?
Yes, yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, so Harit, for you, I'll give you a very easy topic. Suppose if you get a offer, if you get a two offer on your hand, first one is Reliance and the second one is Tata. Which offer you will choose and why? Which offer you will choose and why?
This is a very no, I got it. This is a very interesting topic for me. Personally, I believe more in mystery. So there are a lot of stories that are against Reliance. I would want to explore that firm first to know the realities there. We cannot undermine any company's growth just like by a perception. If I get to work there and I relate to their values and I see the work ethic there, only then will I get a chance to realize why they are so much important to the nation and why or how are they contributing to the growth of this country. Like Brijesh mentioned an example of Tata, I see Reliance also as industrialists and not just businessmen for this nation's growth. Personally, whatever I've heard about Mukesh Ambani, he doesn't believe in transactional relations. He's always investing in the relationships. It could be people who have been with Reliance when his father started the firm, and they're still there, and they're being wisely or correctly rewarded even till date. So I would choose Reliance over Tata as my first choice. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Absolutely. Both companies are making India proud. Absolutely. Thank you so much, our counter, Toastmaster Harris. So, next one, our EX President, Misha, would you try?
Yeah, hi. Hi, Ajay. Hello, good morning, everybody.
Good morning. So,
sorry, I can't
hello.
switch on my camera.
No issue, no issue, no issue.
Thank you.
So, the questions to you, the topic is to you. What is your thought about internship in corporate world? What is your thought about internship in corporate world?
Thank you so much for the question, Ajay. My thoughts about internship in corporate world. To be honest, I'm not too well versed about how internships in corporate world work because I am pretty new to the corporate world. I have been working in the corporate world for the past 2.5, 3 years, and I am a doctor. So I have recently joined the corporate world. So when I joined it, I joined as an employee. Although I have seen few interns working there, and I feel it's a very good opportunity because you get to learn and explore a lot of new things and at a very young age, that too while you're pursuing your studies. So it helps in overall development because you are not just getting sound academically, but also you get to know how the real world uh, functions, because the corporate world, when you step into that office, you come to know how people are, how do you present yourself, how to deal with people, how to deal with real life situations, because whatever you learn academically does not always apply. So you have to know how to deal with it in a real life situation. So when you do these two things simultaneously, it will always help in an overall development. So I feel internship in not just a corporate world, but internship in any field will help you grow. Also, but only one thing which I feel is like interns should be paid, at least paid, and if they are paid less, they should be paid a decent amount of money because they are kids and they would learn. I what I see is when you give someone money for their work, they try to put in more efforts. A lot of places they do not pay money to the interns, and they get people to get the do the work in free, or ad hoc basis, or honorary. Most of the internships are honorary. So only one thing I feel is that interns should be paid. But apart from that, I feel internship is great, and kids should go for internships. That will help them grow as an individual. So that was my answer. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Misha. You are absolutely right. It is the transitions from your academic to the real world. Internship is must for all of them, and it is necessary to develop our skills and for the future. Yeah. So I our our Shah Toastmaster, Bhikkhu, you want to try?
Yeah.
Okay. So I also give a very easy topic to you. Why do we admire to any corporate leader? Why do we admire to any corporate leader? Over to you.
Okay. So why do we admire to any corporate leader? So this is really amazing questions. Because if you're admiring someone who is good at their field, then it will going to help you in the future to reach in your corporate goal. So for example, if you're admiring as Brijesh mentioned that about the Ratan Tata. So if you're really admiring him as a businessman or as a corporate leader, then he has a great quality, he has a great quality to copy him. If you are not pretty much have a good leadership quality or a good business quality, so you can learn from him. You can see how he do the businesses, how he react with the people, how he take the decision to do a good business. So slowly, if you observe him, you will get able to understand that his personality. And while copying him or while observing him, you can improve your leadership skill in a corporate world. So I would say it better to follow corporate leaders if you're really admiring someone. So just to improve yourself, I say. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Bhikkhu. Nicely drafted. and we didn't get good comparison. So who's going to try again now? Just come up.
I think I can.
Okay, Toastmaster Arun. So for you, Arun, what questions to you? Describe any courageous things you did in past. Describe any courageous things you did in past. Over to you, Arun.
Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Ajay. The courageous thing, I'll stick to my corporate world only. But if I have to really specify a very courageous thing that I did in my past, like irrespective of my corporate thing, I'd say traveling solo was one of the most courageous thing that I started recently. But I don't want to get deep into it. In the corporate world, I'll say the courageous thing I did when I started my corporate world through my campus, I got placed into Direct Eye. It's one of the MNCs and it's a big company that way. And what happens in these companies, like they have every unit for everything. We were almost 25 engineers in our team, and the work that we used to get was one line of code or two lines of code a day. And then I used to go play table tennis, carom every day. So that was my everyday work at Direct Eye. So I thought this is not how I'm going to learn. Then I stepped out of it and I started exploring startups. So believe me, in the startup, it's very difficult. The transition from coming from an MNC where everything is there, like you don't have to work much for it. In a startup, you have to literally do everything by yourself. The transition was very difficult, but eventually I got so confident. And believe me, the line of codes I used to write for 1 week that did not even cover my entire career in a MNC, which was almost 2.5 years. So, and also you get recognized for your work in a startup. So now, if you'll ask me if I want to go to a MNC or startup, I will always probably stick to startup unless I have that hunger to learn. When the time comes where I just want to lay back and chill my life, I probably switch to an MNC back. Yeah, so I think that was a very changing moment in my life that I took very courageously. So yeah,
Very good.
thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Arun. So, who next? I would suggest team out Shreyansh if you come up because since you are starting your career in the corporate world, you started your journey. So I would
Yes, sure.
try you must choose one topic. I give you one topic. It's related to
Of
your
course, of course.
corporate journey. Yeah. So you ready? So
Yep.
question is, yeah. What what are your top personal values in your corporate journey?
Sorry, can you
What
repeat?
top personal values you will give in the corporate journey, in your
Okay.
corporate journey,
Okay. So personal values, right?
personal values in the corporate journey.
Yes. Okay.
In
So
your
my personal values, just as I think that if I am working for a company and if they are paying me well and if they are helping me in every way, I'm learning everything, then from my side also I should give my 100% to that company. So recently only my manager, he is a very good person, so he always supports me and he always tells me that we will try new things, and he always want me to explore to different areas of the different sectors. So that's why, so if there's a feeling from inside that of course they are putting so much effort in you, they're pushing you so much, so there's automatic and response from our body that we will also have to do the same thing for the company. And so that's why when it's from the both the side, and so working with them and also working for them become more easy, and we also give our 100% that of course yes, I'll do this work. And so there's a task list that I always create when I go to office, and always whenever a task is completed, I just tick it off. So almost every day I not all the tasks are completed from my side, but after seeing that I've done immense large number of tasks, there is always a good feeling from inside. And that's why it makes a corporate world more fun and always more learning. And there's always learning from my side because I'm just starting now. And so experience and learning and all those different things get me. So yeah, I guess that is it from my side. Over to you, Toastmaster Ajay.
So we'll comment. Thank you so much, team on Sam. So who will try next? Or timer, can you please see the timing report if I can go ahead another 2 or 3 or 1? I mean, you suggest because you are the timing. Timer
Hey,
for this.
Ajay,
Yeah.
if anyone,
Yeah.
sorry, Mitesh, I'm
Yes,
interrupting, but if anyone wants to give it a shot, we can accommodate 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
if no one is left for table topic, then we
Any
can move
any
ahead. Should not be
guest?
an issue.
Any please any guest can come up with.
We don't have a guest today, but we
In this
have a
session,
new
okay.
member, Toastmaster Pradnya. Pradnya, do you want to give it this a try?
Yeah, good afternoon. Sure, I would like.
Okay,
Yeah.
Pradnya, thank you so much. So the topic for you, how do you define success or failure? How do you define success or failure?
Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. How would I define success or failure? So success for me is happiness. Anything and everything can be defined into success or failure. It can be a success for you, but it can be a failure of any other person. So for me, success is if I am happy with the situation, with what I have achieved or what the organization in a corporate world, if you define, has achieved, and how people or me are perceiving it in growth, in terms of their personal learning, in terms of in from on from point of the organization, in terms of the goals the company is supposed to, the business goals the company is supposed to achieve, the targets the company is to achieve, what was the actual requirement or actual expectation or actual target set, and what they have achieved is success for me. But only achieving the targets through any means or any way without having your ethics in place is again not a success. In there, I would say, even if you succeed here, but it was not ethical, hence it is not a success for me. Any success to be achieved, it should be through what I feel is it should be ethically achieved, and it should not hurt or it should not damage the your picture or the organization's picture, and it should be a win-win situation. Hence success is happiness, success is ethical practice, success is what is good for everyone and not for one. Thank you.
Absolutely right, Pradnya. I would also, add a few lines here. Success or failure. Success, of course, gives you happiness, but the more happiness or the more success, it only comes when you fail. It gives you when you fail, then you realize you failed, and then you come up and you start doing better in your life. Not in the personal or in the professional life. Failure gives you more happiness. It is each and every person has their different point of view, but I would give more weightage on failure because failure gives me more strength to do better in life. Yeah. So you really make a good comparison. Thank you so much, and you try really nicely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So if anyone not come on the stage, I can hand over to this TMOD for the further session.
I can go next, Ajay.
Yeah, you want to try?
Yes. If
Sarthak?
there is some time left.
Yeah, I think one permit, so you can go ahead. Sarthak, for you, how would you describe freedom in your own word? How would you describe freedom in your own word? Over to you, Sarthak.
Own word or own world?
Your own word.
L. Okay.
Or your own thought.
Okay.
Whatever
Thanks.
way you. Yeah.
Thanks for the question, Toastmaster Ajay. Freedom in my own world is something, nobody asked me to do this way or that way. I know there will always be a list which we need to complete, even in our corporate world or in our personal world. But the way of doing, I think we should let other people decide. That person decide how does he want to complete that task. I think with that, you can't force anyone to do it this way or that way, because every person is different and he'll have his own way of working, and he'll have his own experience through which he has gained confidence and in what he believes in. So own way of freedom is, just go and explore, try different things, be creative, and whatever makes you happy, uh, in living in the present or thinking about the future, just do it your way. You shouldn't copy anyone and do it. This person has succeeded in life just because of doing this. I think it depends from one person to another. You should always believe in yourself and always do it your style rather than just copying anyone's ideas. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Ajay.
Thank you so much, sir. Believe in yourself. Absolutely. Absolutely right. So I hand over this table topic sessions to TM Modi for the further sessions to continue. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ajay. And it was really a wonderful session. And each one of us got a chance to speak. So yeah, it went very well. Yes. So now moving on to the next session, which is the general evaluation session. But before that, I just wanted to confirm with timer that if each one of the speaker is qualified or not, so that we can get ready for the polls too.
I think all the speakers are qualified. I've recorded the time. So yeah, I will show the timers report at the end of the meeting.
Okay, so each one is qualified, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Then. Yes. So now moving on to the third session, which is the general evaluation session, and Toastmaster Brijesh will be conducting that. So over to you, Toastmaster Brijesh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shreyansh. Well, it was a surreal meeting experience for me, and I hope everyone had a similar experience today. So, fellow Toastmasters, as our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Shreyansh explained that our Toastmaster meeting is divided into 3 sections. First, prepared speeches, then table topic, and then general evaluation. So now I'll take up this role of general evaluation, and this will include lots of evaluation and feedback for everyone who's participated in this meeting, which I feel is the best part about Toastmasters, because you get your feedback instantly and you can use that to improve yourselves. Now, similar to the Toastmaster meeting, even the general evaluation is divided into 3 sections. So first, I'll call our speech evaluator to give his evaluation on prepared speeches. Then I'll call the team to share their evaluation report. And then I'll share my general comments about this meeting. So to begin with, before I call the speech evaluator, I know Toastmaster Mitesh had provided speech evaluation timing guidelines at the start of the meeting, but since it's been long, I would again want to call him out and share the timing guidelines for speech evaluation. So over to you, Toastmaster Mitesh.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Brijesh. So for speech evaluation, the timings are 2 to 3 minutes. So I will show the green light after 2 minutes. Okay, just a minute. I will show the green card at the end of 2 minutes, the yellow card at the end of 2 minutes 30 seconds, and the red card at the end of 3 minutes. Sorry, and there will be a grace period of 30 seconds on either side of the time limit. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mitesh. So next, we'll call our seasoned evaluator, Toastmaster Tariq, to share his evaluation for the prepared speech of Toastmaster Arun. Over to you, Toastmaster Tariq.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator Toastmaster Brijesh. Good afternoon, everyone. I'll start my evaluation for Toastmaster Arun. It was a surreal experience for me to hear Toastmaster Arun's speech. He touched upon the very sensitive topic. He did the disclaimer as well in the beginning about the lockdown. It brought us the memory of lockdown where everyone was locked. Everyone was in their home and then trying to do their bit in order to help humanity. There was a disclaimer that was necessary because it touched upon certain memories for everybody and all of us. He mentioned about the bird flu, swine flu, and how he learned in a hard way to wear a mask. So in the speech formation, when you relate to the other pandemics that has happened, it will bring you the context in terms of where he's taking the audience to, right? He also mentioned about somewhere in the corner of India. It could be in any corner of India. So that's the right usage of the sentence. He also mentioned about couple of weeks, go on for months and then years and then the eternity. So that's the good usage of sentence, which brings the audience back to the context. It was a good storytelling in my view. He also mentioned about it will not reach our home. So when the pandemic happened, we always think that it will not reach our home. We are immune. But then he also mentioned that how his society, somebody from his society and the complex got infected, right? So, and he also mentioned about it was a fairy tale until it reached to our own society. And he mentioned about his journey from moving from Andheri to Vera. If I would to give him some suggestions, any speech that you do, it would be advisable, since it is an online setting, to stand up and give the speech so that your body language, your gestures, your pronunciation, your looking to the audience, which is very important part of the public speaking. So even if you're in the corporate world or anywhere you work, half of the things are being online, but the online presence is also very, very impactful to the audience. He also mentioned about news got horrid by the day, numbers multiplied, rate was increasing. This whole sentence can be formed in a more polite as well as more impactful way, that the news is getting spread like a wildfire, or the pandemic is getting spread like a wildfire. So you should be using certain words which is more impactful rather than the longer sentences. That's my view. You also mentioned about I somehow managed to get my stuff. So when you speak in a speech, you should not be using stuff word. You should be using, for an example, I brought back my belongings, right? So you see the difference between the two. In the end, he concluded with some suspense that he's going to continue in the speech too. I would suggest him to ensure that he ends his speech very well, because the summary of the speech was missing at the end, and also the conclusion. So the conclusion of the speech or the summary of the speech should be a takeaway to the audience, right? So, and it should be like, it should be remembered on top of everybody's head during this session that, okay, what is the first 5 points that you mentioned on the speech? So this would add cherry on the top to your speech if you conclude and summarize well. So with this, I will wish all the best to Toastmaster Arun for his next speech. Thank you, General Evaluator. Sorry, I took a little bit long.
Sure. Thank you, Evaluator Toastmaster Tariq. Honestly, I love your evaluation. You are always pretty detailed, and you provide the right set of recommendations as well. So I think you are excused for going over time, because feedback is very important. I'm sure even Toastmaster Arun would love this feedback and will improve upon it when he goes back and prepares his next speech. So friends, moving on to the next section of the meeting, we would go for our tag team report. So let me start by calling our timer, Toastmaster Mitesh, to provide his timing report. Over to you, Toastmaster Mitesh.
Thank you, Toastmaster British. So I've noted the timings in my Excel sheet according to all the speakers that spoke in today's meeting. So I just share my screen. Just a minute. Okay. Just a minute.
Mitesh, the screen was visible. I'm again not
Yeah.
able to see it.
Yeah, just stop sharing. Just a minute.
Sure.
I think. Yeah. Is it visible now?
Yeah, it is visible.
Okay. So for prepared speeches, Toastmaster Arun has taken 6 minutes 38 seconds, and he has qualified for his speech. For table topics, all the first speaker, that is Abbas, has taken 1 minute 16 seconds. Amit has taken 2 minutes 2 minutes. Sorry, it's 1 minute 49 seconds. I've noted in my notepad. Brijesh has taken 1 minute 52 seconds. Harit has taken 1 minute 14 seconds. Misha has taken 2 minutes 11 seconds. Bhiku has taken 1 minute 30 seconds. Arun has taken 2 minutes 13 seconds. Shreyans has taken 1 minute 41 seconds. Pradnya has taken 1 minute 52 seconds. Sarthak has taken 1 minute 24 seconds. So all the speakers have qualified their speech. And the speech evaluator, Toastmaster Tariq, has taken 4 minutes 1 second. So yeah.
Hey Mitesh, don't we have time for Toastmaster Preeti?
Yeah, okay. Toastmaster Preeti has taken 1 minute 52 seconds. Yeah, it is in my notepad. Actually,
Sure.
yeah, but it is in my notepad. Preeti has taken 1 minute 52 seconds.
That is fine, not an
Yeah.
issue. Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mitesh.
Yes.
Next, let me call Toastmaster Harit Batra for our counter report. Over to you, Toastmaster Harit.
Thank you, Toastmaster Brijesh. Let me try to share my screen. I hope my screen is visible to all of you. So this is what I've tried to. This is what I've captured real life. I would like to congratulate Arun for a strong command over the crutch words. There were just 2 pauses, but there were some filler words. But overall, I think you did a great job, even in other parts of the session, Arun. So kudos to you. And then I highlighted a few folks whose counter was more or less than or equal to 5. I think Arbaz was also going good, but Arbaz, these are the words that I've highlighted, which were pain point for certain folks. I think Arbaz, for you, all of our counter were because of everything else looked good in the our counter summary of yours. And then I've highlighted the similar words for others, but these green highlights tell people who had a better control in the our counter summary today. That's all from my side, Brijesh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Harit, for a comprehensive R counter report. Next, we move on to our grammarian, Toastmaster Sarthak, for his grammarian report. Over to you, Toastmaster Sarthak.
Thank you, Toastmaster Brijesh. Firstly, I would like to apologize because I didn't prepare an Excel sheet, but definitely I can read the correct and not so correct usage of the words today. So the correct usage are pivotal role, acceptable, pursuing your studies, academically, and impactful, and perceiving. Whereas not so correct usage of words are coming out, it could have been moving out, joined by a corporate company. It could have been started working for a corporate company. It would be similar, shifts your character, shows your character, give money. It could have been should be paid, admire any, copy him, it could have been emulate. So this is a report for today, Brijesh. Yeah, that's it.
Sure. Sarthak, would you also want to give out the word of the day report?
Yeah, so word of the day, I think Brijesh used it once, Ajay used it once, and Tariq used it once. 3 times Salim has been used. Sorry if I have missed out on any.
Shreyansh also used 2
Yeah.
times.
Okay, so Brijesh, Ajay, Tariq, and Shreyans.
Sure, Sarthak. That is good. Thank you for your grammarian report. So, fellow
Thanks.
Toastmasters, next we move on to the general comments as part of general evaluation. So, I'll start with the start of the meeting. So, we started a bit late. I think we started after 11:05. So a request to everyone that we should be joining the meeting at 10:55. The meeting room was open around 10:50. So please try and join by 10:55, 10:57, especially all the role players, so that at 11 we can start our meeting. Toastmaster Bhiku, I think he's taking the role of staff for the very first time. He explained all the guidelines, so that was a good job. Just couple of recommendations for you. One, when you are taking the role of sergeant at arms, you are breaking the ice for this meeting. So see if you can add more energy or maybe be a bit more creative at the start of the meeting. That will ensure that you are catching the attention of all the participants in the meeting. And second, when you call out the presiding officer, it's always good to give him some intro. Even if you're not giving an intro, a formal way in Toastmasters is, to call him as Toastmaster Prashant and not Mr. Prashant when you call him for the presiding officer role. Otherwise, a fab job. I understand this is the first time, so you will learn and pick it up when you again take this role of SAR. Moving on to presiding officer. Our presiding officer himself mentioned he's taking this role for the very first time. And Toastmaster Prashant, you did a fab job at this. Since no guests were involved, so you were not required to introduce any guests to the meeting. You gave a very fab introduction to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Shreyan. So again, a plus point for you. Honestly, I find anything wrong as far as protocols is concerned. So I believe you should go ahead and keep on taking up this role. Obviously, with guests and guests coming in, there will be some diversity as well in how you perform this role. Just one small suggestion from my side. While the theme is something which Toastmaster of the day presents, you can give certain context around the theme when you take up this role, especially when there are no guests involved, because you get that time, you should use it. Otherwise, a fab job done at presiding officer. Next, we move to our youngest Toastmasters of the club, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Shreyans. And wow, Toastmaster Shreyans, I was mesmerized when you started this session. You came up with this question. I was transported into 9 years back. When I joined the corporate world, how my first day looked like, how happy I was, what collection of emotions were going in my head and in my heart. Because it is the first time I am going out to do some work, and I'll be getting paid as well. So I loved it. Next, you ensured that meeting was very interactive. So you kept on asking questions to people and all the participants, because they have some or other, majority of them have some or other experience with the corporate world. They came up and shared their stories. It always feels good, when you sit on a Sunday morning, you have such an awesome weather and you are hearing nice conversations about how the first corporate interaction was for everyone. So that was a great job. You introduced everyone properly. You mentioned how the meeting structure is. And every participant you called out, you asked a question to him as well. So again, that was a very great quality. So I loved everything about this session. Uh, I honestly I don't have any recommendations on how this can be improved. Maybe while the session was interactive, if you could have one screen share session, where everyone could probably just share their thoughts, this would ensure that all the participants are active together, something like that. A recommendation could be, you could come up with set of adjectives, or you could just show a word pad and ask everyone to write one word on how would they want to describe their corporate experience, and we would have a collection of words. So that can be a good interactive session, but otherwise a fab job, Toastmaster Shreyans. And honestly, it never struck me that I could take something like this as theme for a Toastmasters meeting. Next, we'll move to the tag role players. So I'll start with grammarian Toastmaster Sarthak. Toastmaster Sarthak explained the role of grammarian properly. He gave the word of the day. He also mentioned the usage in the chat box, and he also mentioned the meaning in the chat box. Toastmaster Sarthak, one recommendation, when you are using the chat window, you should also mention the word of the day right away. Like before explaining what that word means and giving an example, you should also explain it. And also, I feel while we don't do it, it would be a great practice. Like whenever you Google a particular word, they also show you how to pronounce it. If you can show that up when you are grammarian, you pick up word of the day. If you can just share your screen and show that up, that helps everyone to learn how to pronounce it as well. Barring that, it was a fab job. Next, coming on to your grammarian report, you yourself mentioned you didn't carry a spreadsheet, but you called out what were the good usages and what were not so incorrect usages. And I believe this is again first time for you as grammarian. So with time, you will definitely improve. So thank you, Toastmaster Sarthak. It was a good job. Next, we have Toastmaster Mitesh, who took the role of timer. So again, a fab job. Toastmaster Mitesh explained all the timing guidelines perfectly. A couple of recommendations, Mitesh, from my side would be, whenever you are providing your timing guidelines, at the start of the meeting, just stick to prepared speech timing guidelines. So ideally, before we begin the session, everyone calls out the timer. So before the start of prepared speeches, you should give only timing guidelines for prepared speech. Before the start of table topic, you should give it for table topic. And before the start of evaluation, you should give it for evaluation timing guidelines. 1, 2, you should, I understand you didn't have screen sharing, right? So we course corrected within the meeting. So a shout out to Toastmaster Arbas, because he called this out and ensured that course correction happens as we are moving in the meeting. But when you take up the role of timer, it is your job to ensure that people are able to see your screen, or people are able to see the timer clock. Also, you should be showcasing the cards, so like when you say that at the end of 1 minute, I'll show green card, you should be showing it on your screen that this is how the green card would look like, this is how the yellow card would look like. That will ensure that, when people are speaking, they are aware of when the green card, yellow card, red card comes in. I understand this is again a first time for you. So we had everyone taking up roles for first time. So I am sure with this recommendations, you will definitely come up with a better version of yourself when you next pick up the timer role. Next, our counter Toastmaster Harith. Toastmaster Harith, a fab job. Unfortunately, I had a internet misconnection, so I was not able to hear you completely. But when I joined back, I could presume that you gave your entire R counter guidelines properly. Coming back to your evaluation report, you did a fab job. You had a spreadsheet and you properly classified. You also mentioned Toastmaster Arbaz, what are the filler words he's using. So again, that's a commendable job. Just one recommendation to your last column, where you have the total count. Again, there it's generally a practice to show 5+. So if it's 8, 9, 10, I know you added the independent columns and showed at 8+, 7+, 12+. Always a fab job to have 5+, 5+, 5+. Like that's how we generally follow in the Toastmasters protocol. But barring that, you did a fab job. So kudos to you as well, Toastmaster Harith. Next, in general recommendation for the entire tag team. Generally, when you take up tag team, what you should also be doing is when you're sharing your evaluation report, see if you can prior to the meeting, Google out. So if Harit, you are taking a power counter, you can just recommend one or two techniques on how to ensure that you are using less filler words or less filler phrases. There are a lot of techniques available online. You could just share that as a recommendation at the end of the meeting. And similarly for grammarian and timer as well, like that would be an in general recommendation. Otherwise, a fab job from tag team. Next, I'll move on to our table topic master, Toastmaster Ajay. Again, Toastmaster Ajay explained very beautifully the role of table topic master. He also came up with pretty relevant topics which were very much aligned to the theme of the day. And a special shout out to you. So, because Toastmaster Preeti was not that comfortable, she wanted something which is a topic which is not related to the corporate world. You came up with that topic as well. So a special shout out for that. I also love the fact that you encourage Toastmaster Preeti to take up another topic because she was not comfortable with the first topic. So again, a kudos to you for that. I love those aspects of you. A recommendation for you, Toastmaster Ajay, would be generally in our table topic session, say if I'm calling out Toastmaster Brijesh, the protocol to be followed is Toastmaster Brijesh, then the topic name, then topic name Toastmaster Brijesh. So if I just demonstrate it, it should be Toastmaster Brijesh, corporate leader who is your role model. A corporate leader who is your role model, Toastmaster Brijesh. You should call out every participant this way. That is how the protocol is. Bearing that, you did a fair job, so kudos to you as well. With that, I complete the evaluation for every section. Like every section of the meeting. I would want to specifically thank Toastmaster Preeti for attempting the speech at the second time. I know it feels difficult, when you are new to this world of impromptu speaking. You catch your nerves. You become a bit nervous, but showing up for Toastmasters meeting every Sunday and taking up table topic will surely show an improvement. And I message you, I would want to call out as well. Everyone I feel would feel the same. Your second attempt was much better than first attempt. So that was a fab job. So that's the improvement you see, when you repeat the same thing again and again. Again, a call out for Toastmaster Pradnya as well. So this was her first meeting, and she also came and gave a table topic session. So kudos to you as well. Finally, just one recommendation for everyone. I see few people who switch off their video camera. I would recommend everyone, if you could keep the camera on. I understand there are certain times, when you because you are at your home, so you want to switch off for some time. Yes, switch off for 5 minutes, 7 minutes, but see if you can switch it on again. That would ensure that everyone has a great surreal experience. With that, I would want to close the general evaluation for today and hand over this virtual stage to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Prashant.
Yeah, thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Brijesh. Should we go with the polls first before the closing speech?
Sure, we can go with
Yes,
polls.
yes, we should go with
Yes.
polls.
Yes. So I'm launching the polls for table topic speaker. We are 80% done. See.
So one person is still left.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I've
I have two entries, so it could be one of mine. I didn't go to the second one.
So now
okay.
we
I
can move
think
on to next.
yeah. We can move to the next one. One second. Launching for the best tag role player. Yeah, just three people remaining.
Yep.
Okay.
I guess we
Yeah.
should close.
Yeah, we can move on to the last one. The best of big three. Please vote for best of big three. Yes. So we are done with the polls. So Brijesh, should we announce the results right now or at the end of the meeting? I'm not sure.
Sure, we can announce it right away.
Yeah, sure. So the winner of best table topic speaker poll is Toastmaster Arbaz. Round of applause for him. And the winner of best tag role player is Grammarian Sarthak. And best of big three, it's obviously team out of the day, Shreyansh Jain. Okay. So we are done with the polls. Yeah. So I would like to thank Timot Shreyansh for taking us through this amazing corporate journey. We got to learn a lot of new things today from him about this new software EDBA. Also, we got to learn a lot about each other today. And I hope it was a surreal experience for everyone. And a really nice speech by Toastmaster Arun. Congratulations. And Tariq, thank you so much for the detailed evaluation as always. It was really helpful. All the first time role players have done very well. Congratulations to all of them. And Brijesh, coming to you, thank you for this very detailed general evaluation. So you precisely touched upon all the points nicely, and your suggestions were actually very helpful. And I hope it would have been helpful for everyone. And now we have a new Toastmaster, joining Toastmaster Pragna. So Pragna, would you like to share your experience for today's meeting and any feedback for us?
So my experience was
Yes, but now you can
I am
continue.
just trying to grasp what new learnings I can get through these sessions so that I can grow myself as well as much as possible. And thank you everyone for your guidance and all the inputs you are given so that is starting. I'm it is helping me start with my learning journey. Thank you. very
Sure,
much.
sure. Thank you, Pragna. I'm sure you will learn a lot from Toastmasters, and we will also learn a lot from you.
Sure, thank you.
Yeah, so there is a, like, I would like to end this like with a quote from a great philosopher and a mystic called named Gurdjieff. So the quote is like, without struggle, there is no progress, no result. So every breaking of habit produces a change in ourselves. So guys, please come out of your comfort zone and keep taking different roles in Toastmasters.
Toastmaster Prashant, I guess you forgot my closing remarks. So
Oh,
if
yeah.
time permits, I can continue.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, handing this over to Timur Shreyansh.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
So in conclusion to our meeting today has been a remarkable exploration of our first in the corporate world. We have shared stories, advice, laughter as we went down the memory lane about the marked beginning of our professional journey. And I would like to give special shout out to Toastmasters because really where there was a client meeting and our sales team was pitching it to another school. So the tech team who knows all the features, so we have to present a meeting. And my manager told me to give because to give. He told me that I should give the meeting. So at first I was very tense. I was very nervous, and the meeting went okay. But at the second meeting, I knew that I will have to fix it. So with same confidence, I went it, and it went so fab. So that's why I really want to thank Toastmaster because all the communication skills I got from it all came from here. So I would like to thank to each one of you members and thank you all for sharing your first and contributing to this engaging and memorable discussion. And the main motive for me to take this topic was that each one of you has average of 5+ experience. So I would learn something from each one of you, and that what happened today. I got the points from each one of you, and of course I'll take it down. I'll apply it in my future corporate journey. So wishing you all a continued success and happiness in your corporate voyage. Over to you, presiding officer. Toastmaster
Yeah,
Prashant.
thank you so much, Timur Shreyansh. Yeah, sorry for missing the sequence actually. Yeah, so thank you everyone for joining this meeting, and have a happy Sunday and enjoy your lunch. We are closing this meeting. Yeah, thank you everyone.
Okay, thank you everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank you so much,
everyone.
everyone. Thank you.
Yes.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Okay.